Everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to discuss the top 2 stocks that you should be keeping in your watch list for tomorrow. All right. We're also going to be looking at some of the stocks that you guys asked me about to discuss in these videos. So let's dive into it. Right off the bat, we got the NASDAQ futures. And right now, things are looking a little bit green. Just a little bit. All right. Today it turned out to be a doji. I was bearish in the last few videos since, again, I told y'all last week, Thursday the 14th, we've been dropping. And it's not dropping as fast as I thought it would. Like, it's slowing down a lot more, especially now that we're a little green. Okay. But things can change in the morning. Because yesterday, or at least at midnight, I would say, at midnight, the futures were down all the way down here by like 0.40, 0.50%. And then it ended up opening positive. And then it just had a nasty whipsaw and ended up closing at the opening price to give us that doji, right? So anything can really happen overnight. It's green now, but let's just wait and see how things open. Because I'm still like, overall, the bears are still in control of these stocks. The bears are in control of the indices. Especially the SPY, all right? And this is how the SPY is looking. All right, so today we had a retest of 77.64, followed by a close at 77.32. Again, I think it can do it. It might not be this fast. We might have to prolong this until Monday or Tuesday. But like I said, anything can happen in the morning. There could be bad news that is released 30 minutes before the market opens that causes the SPY to open at like 77.20 and then flush out the gates. Right now, let's discuss the first stock that y'all should be keeping in your watch list for tomorrow. That stock is going to be, I'm gonna put on the 1 minute. That stock is going to be Netflix again. All right, I mentioned it earlier. I think I mentioned it on Friday. Yeah, no, Thursday. On Thursday night, I mentioned that to for y'all for a push to the upside, and it's been slowly going up. All right. Yesterday, as the semis fell, this one started to pick up steam. It closed above $78, and today ended up being the very first day that we close above 80. This is a good news. This is a great sign. The candles are getting bigger. The volume is not, I wish the volume was increasing. That would have given me a lot more confidence for this thing. But there is a new structure on the chart, especially on the 1 hour. There's an ascending triangle that broke out at 9 a.m. A little bit narrow, yes, but it's there and I just cannot ignore it, right? It's there. We got the breakout point right here at $79. As long as this thing stays up here and keep pushing higher, this thing has the potential to go all the way up to at least 85. At least. All right, what is this? Yeah, this is exactly 85. Right. Now, another perspective to look at with this one is the 4 hour. The 4 hour. There you go. And with the 4 hour, it's currently breaking over strong levels of resistance. We had one right here at 78.40 that got taken out in this morning. Another one was right there, but we had the chop, the retest, and the push. Right, and now we got the next one, which is the next one is at 83, and then the really solid one is again at 85. Right, so keep your eyes out for it on it. The contracts are pretty great. They're very cheap, and the volume, again, the volume is really everything. It has to show good volume. If you're not in it, if you're not in Netflix, have an alert right here above $81. And then when it rings, like, it has to ring in order for us to get some confidence that it will push all the way up to these levels by either Friday or Monday. It has to take out that level. So just set your alerts there and just be prepared and be ready to capitalize on the upcoming opportunity on Netflix for tomorrow. Now, the next stock that I want to share with all of you, this one is going to be for the bears. I told y'all I am bearish on the overall market until the indices start breaking above resistance, like the Nasdaq, until the Nasdaq breaks above 29,870, right? I'm bearish. So let's look at this sector. We got to look at AMD. And I shared AMD with y'all previously. I told y'all AMD is going to fall. AMD is going to fall. All right, I'm going to clean up the chart. That way y'all can see what I'm actually seeing with this. There's a bearish pennant on the right. Right, but now that I zoom out, there is a head and shoulders. There's the left shoulder. There's the head, which is here. And then there is the right shoulder, which is what we're seeing now as a bearish pennant. There's also the gap at the bottom, all the way down to 350. All right, and there's a lot more that I want to share with y'all. I got an idea. For those of y'all who are beginners and are brand new to trading, there is a concept. Y'all gonna love this. Y'all might know this, y'all might not know this, but there is a concept of it's called a Wyckoff distribution pattern. I'm gonna find it. There you go. I'm trying to find a good image here. Trying to find a good image for y'all. Yeah, I see some good ones. Yeah, this is perfect. Okay, so Mozilla, there you go. This is called the Wyckoff distribution. The concept is the stock has a massive push to the upside, right? But instead of collapsing immediately, it just chops and chops for weeks and months and end up looking like this, right? We got the bind climax, which is that left shoulder on AMD, and then we got the upthrusts, which is pretty much an accumulation of greedy bulls at the top. For AMD it would be between 520 and 580, right? And now we move on to the second test where it makes a lower high, that point right there. Y'all see where my mouse is, where it says resistance here, but we got that point. It's equivalent to this portion right there. All right, this is for the beginners. This is how I see things, and hopefully y'all see it too. So we got that point. Now we go back to this image. We got the next lower high, followed by the slow roll over, and followed by the break of a support line, which is more diagonal. It's uprising and it's formed by higher lows. And then we got that breakdown. And that breakdown is that current point where we are right now, especially when we change it to the 4-hour. Especially when we change it to the 4-hour. And then we draw this. Alright. We have a bearish pennant breakdown. The breakdown happens yesterday. And then we had the retest this morning before the flush, right? So it still has a lot of room. This breakdown just started. And the outcome of this thing is very devastating. It's extremely devastating. And the minimum price target, which I mentioned it before, again, I told y'all it's gonna be 350. It's gonna be 350 again. I just don't know exactly how fast we're gonna get down there. And I don't know if it's going to drag its feet. So I'm gonna draw a big green circle right there. All right, so watch AMD for a drop down to at least 400 for this week. And then for next week, it might get worse. But this is the end. We are on the tail end of a Wyckoff distribution. Again, for those of you who have never heard of it, I've seen it before on a Bitcoin chart. And between March 2021 and June 2021, which caused the first drop from like 65,000 all the way down to 32,000, right? When BTC had that double top, yeah, it had a Wyckoff distribution then too. So the same thing is going to happen with this one, all right? Now, let's address some of you guys' questions. Y'all asked me to look at McDonald's. It's been a long time since I've talked about McDonald's. And McDonald's looks like this. It's getting near levels of support. This is good. Long-term investors, this one's for you. If you're going the weekly, you can see that support line is right at 247. I think you can make it. Like, I wouldn't be a buyer of McDonald's unless I wouldn't be an aggressive buyer of McDonald's unless I see these lows, right? Because the trend on the weekly is still bearish. The moving averages haven't even perked yet. And the price is red, right? It's red, especially after that last earnings, and it's pointing downwards. Therefore, I wouldn't be surprised for us to see it move down to 250 first. And then after that, then you can decide whether you want to start sizing in for the long-term rebound, right? But overall, this is a solid company, a strong company. It's just been left out and demolished for the past few months, which is okay. Like in investing, there's ebbs and flows, right? Obviously, if you have shares on McDonald's, don't panic. Just be happy that you're about to get a good discount on the stock very, very soon, right? Because the stock is very strong, and it almost always rebounds, as it has proven in the past. So that's my thoughts on it, and I hope that helps whoever asked about it. The next stock that somebody else asked me about, again, if you have questions, let me know in the comment section below. The next stock is going to be Caterpillar. And with Caterpillar, already the bears are in control already, right? This is the back end of a shorting opportunity. There's a lot of bears shorting the stock right there. Between 1,000 and 900, that's where they're all located. It looks exactly like MU, honestly. It looks exactly like it. And if you're going closer, we also have a bearish pennant. It's a little sloppy and kind of narrow too. I want something else to form. Yeah, I think it's gonna hang out here for a bit. It's gonna hang out above 800. And then at the end of the month, we're really gonna see this thing really crack down and go down towards like 700. But for right now, yes, it looks vulnerable, but it's not gonna be a fast drop. It's gonna be a very slow, painful drop. And every single time it retests the 200 moving average on the 4-hour, we get a rejection, right? So I think as a short seller, if I want to get into this, I would wait for the third rejection off of the 200 moving average, which should be next Thursday or next Wednesday of next week, before we see that drop, right? This is where I would want to get in with puts when the puts get very, very cheap, right there, right at that point, and right at that day, right at that price. So yeah, that's my honest thoughts on these stocks. If you like the little comparison, the little lesson that I throw in there with the Wyckoff distribution, I thought about naming this video specifically for that with AMD. But if you like it and you want to see a little bit more of it, let me know in the comment section below. It's something different, something more detailed and helpful for the beginners. Right, so just let me know about that. And that is the end of the video. Again, I am not your financial advisor. Do your own research and make your own decisions, all right? Don't forget to follow me on social media at Paul and Gouin at Patternology Lab on Instagram and on X. And lastly, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.